Hey everybody, it's Benny1 and I'm back at you with another movie review today, and today we're going to be reviewing the live action adaptation of Uncharted, everyone. The movie that is based off the very popular video game franchise that has been on the PlayStation since the PlayStation 3. I have played every single Uncharted game. I'm not going to say like I'm a huge obsessive Uncharted fan, but when a new Uncharted game comes out, I always buy it and I always play it. And I have replayed most of them. I haven't replayed all of them, but I have replayed most of the games. So I do really like the video game franchise. I think they're fun. They're very cinematic on their own. So this movie really had a lot to accomplish with adapting this video game franchise, because even the first one, even though that one I will say kind of is showing its age a little, the last time I played it a few years ago, they're very cinematic. Like the stories that they tell, they're very cinematic with great stories, great voice acting, great characters and characterizations with Sully and Nathan Drake. The video games just nailed all that stuff already. So this live action movie, it's a video game adaptation. They do not have a good track record with video games being put on the big screen, unfortunately. There's not a lot of great video game adaptation movies out there. So yes, this live action movie had some feats to conquer. So this movie is directed by Ruben Fleischer, everybody. He is the guy that has directed the Venom movies. And his movies generally, it seems like when he's making them, he's most definitely trying to appeal to the audience, your average audience going person to the movie theater. He's most definitely not trying to appeal his movies to the critics that review movies and are very nitpicky and review movies down to the T. He aims to please the people that pay all the money to go watch these movies. And I think he successfully, for the most part, with like his Venom movies and this movie, they're entertaining. Now, they're not the best movies ever made, and they're kind of messy at times, but they do have entertainment value, and he's good at that kind of stuff. So, and Tom Holland plays Nathan Drake, a very young Nathan Drake, I will say that. And Mark Wahlberg plays Victor Sullivan, or known as Sully. Very young version of this character too. That's the thing, is like they went for like a good 10, 12-ish years younger than what these characters are in the video games. Even like the first Uncharted video game, like I'm pretty sure Nathan was at least like 32, 33 or whatever more in the first Uncharted video game. And Sully was in like his early 60s, maybe late 50s, at least. I would say early 60s, because he's got gray hair and everything, and he sounds and looks like an older dude. So they cast everybody in this movie to be very young. And it's kind of an origin story for Nathan Drake becoming the Nathan Drake that we see in the video games. That's what this movie basically was doing. I don't know if they purposely did that. But yeah, I don't know. It kind of caught me off guard. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to talk about it a little more. And then Sophia Ali plays Chloe Frazier. She's another character from the games that was cast super young. She's supposed to be about the same age as Nathan Drake, but she looks a lot older than Nathan in this movie, because Tom Holland looks young. He does. He looks like a young guy. He's kind of just one of those actors, like he's going to look young for quite a bit of his life. He's one of those people that just is always going to look kind of young until he actually gets older. So, but yeah. And then we have Tati Gabriella. She plays Braddock. She's one of the villains in the movie, which I'm going to talk about too, because Antonio Banderas was cast in this movie as Santiago Moncada, and he was, I'm guessing he was supposed to be the villain of the movie, but then they did something with him that I was like, whoa. So we will get to that though. So the movie is your basic generic action adventure treasure hunting movie. If you've seen Indiana Jones, you've seen National Treasure, you've seen Sahara, you've seen this movie. This movie is very generic when it comes to your action adventure treasure hunting movie. It has all of the tropes that you would come to expect from those types of movies. It even borrows things from the Indiana Jones movies when they're traveling with the map and stuff like that. You've seen it. They don't really do anything or bend the curve when it comes to this genre. It just is very comfy with what it's doing, and it has a lot of cool action set pieces, like the plane sequence that is in the Uncharted games was really entertaining to watch in a live action movie. Now, is it plausible or feasible to really happen? Hell no. There's all the shit in this movie. The big green screen action set pieces where he's flying out of the back of a plane, or you got two old pirate ships hooked up to some helicopters and they're zooming around in between each other, running into each other while they're fighting on the ships. None of that shit would really happen in real life, but it's a movie based on a video game, so you just kind of have to throw that out of your mind when you go watch these type of movies, because it's entertainment. And that's the thing, there is entertainment value with this movie, and the movie is watchable. It's not like a horribly made movie or acted movie. It's very watchable, and it does entertain you. Now, the problem is that my biggest issue with the movie is I really think our main two characters, Nathan Drake and Sully, not that I hate Tom Holland at all, because I like Tom Holland. I think his performance as Spider-Man in Spider-Man No Way Home is my favorite performance of him in any movie so far. I think he's a talented actor, especially after watching that movie. And I like Mark Wahlberg. He has kind of gotten into this comfy zone and cruise control zone of playing Mark Wahlberg in any movie that he is really in, but I really think they were miscast. I do. I think they were both miscast for these characters because they just don't capture that characterization that was established in the video games. And Mark Wahlberg was really miscast. I see hints of Nathan Drake and Tom Holland. I see it. I just got to keep reminding myself, okay, this is a very young version of Nathan Drake that is not there yet. He's not the Nathan Drake that we were introduced to in the first video game. So I had to remind myself of that while I was watching the movie, and I don't buy him as Nathan Drake. I just don't. And I remember when they cast him, I was like, what? Like, you cast Tom Holland to play Nathan Drake? What? Because Nathan Fillion was the one that everybody wanted to play Nathan Drake. And there was a fan-made movie that they did with him as Nathan Drake. It was a fan-made Uncharted movie, and it is fantastic. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. That represents way more than this big budgeted live action movie of what Uncharted should be on the live action big screen. It really captures what the video games were and everything. So, but yeah, the casting was just kind of crazy. And then back to our villains, like Braddock and Santiago he hires Braddock he's like his assassin, and she freaking kills him, like, early in the movie, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, why did you guys bring Antonio Banderas even in the movie if you're just gonna do that with him? Because he seems like he should have been the villain, and he would have represented a villain that is in the video games. Like, I was like, oh, cool, they actually captured the type of villain and person that Nathan and Sully go up against in the video games, and then they just killed him off like nothing. I was like, wow, what were you guys doing there? The movie does have a pretty solid pacing. I will say that. It's not quite 2 hours long. so it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's very quickly paced. It does have action, not a lot of downtime. The characterizations in the movie are super weak for me, though. They really are. Everyone in the movie besides Nathan literally is a bunch of backstabbing assholes. And it kind of gets to a point in the movie where they're doing it so much that I was like, okay, this is kind of getting silly that they're just constantly doing this. Like, it happens in the games, it does. But I feel like they way overdo it in the movie too much. And they make you kind of get connected to certain characters in the movie because of moments, but then backstab happens, and it's just like you literally, everything that this characterization that you were building just got crumbled because they're backstabbing for the third or fourth time already in the movie. So it really hurts the characters in the movie, unfortunately. But yeah, guys, so I mean, overall, it's a very generic action adventure treasure hunting movie. You've seen it before. It's entertaining, though. I will say that it does have entertainment value. Very watchable. As a video game adaptation of the Uncharted video games, probably people that have played the video games are not going to be huge fans of the movie. I'm in that group of people, unfortunately. I did get entertainment out of it, but they could have done a way better job with this, unfortunately. Now, as your average moviegoer that doesn't know anything about the video game franchise, they'll probably get some really good entertainment out of this because it has that in it. It really does. But as an adaptation of the video game franchise, it was not a very solid entry. That's for damn sure. And they did end it with a post-credit scene where Sully actually shows up with his mustache. He has his revolver gun. So they have it set up now to be the Uncharted games that we know, where the characters are at in their point in life. So it's set up for a sequel, and I'm pretty sure I know it's made over $400 million, so we're probably going to get a sequel to it. So who knows? Maybe they'll improve on all that stuff that's negative about it. So, but overall, I'm going to give the live action adaptation of Uncharted a 6 out of 10. I just think it's your bare minimum entertainment value for a video game adaptation. So a 6 out of 10, everybody, for Uncharted. I hope you guys enjoyed that review. I thank you for watching, and I'll be catching you on the tube laters because I have spoken.